Hello, everyone. Hi there. Thank you for calling in. It's going to take a moment for me to let everybody in from the waiting room. This is a very popular event. In the meantime, please feel free to share your name and whether you're a volunteer or student with ENGin, where you're calling in from in the chat. And if you wouldn't mind just muting yourself, that would be great, just to make sure that everybody can hear properly today.
Oh, hello.
I see Baron, you're from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Hello.
Hello. We're going to go ahead and go on mute and just introduce ourselves in the chat. So please feel free to do that. Andrew from Alabama, Toby from San Jose, New York, San Francisco, Arizona, Toronto, Canada. Wow, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, thank you. Awesome. And we just have a few more people in the waiting room. Volunteer teacher working on a support therapy to share with people in Lviv. Ah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. The ENGin team actually was just in Lviv, so we really loved it there. And I got to see our speaker Tatiana there as well. Beautiful city, great people. Josh from Washington, D.C., right around the corner from me. Belgium. Wow, folks, this is so great. Thank you so much for calling in. I am going to go ahead and introduce our session here just to get us started. So hi, everybody. My name is Emily Gross, and I'm the development manager at ENGin. It's my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the ENGin team and also to say thank you on behalf of our entire team for setting aside some time to meet with us today. This event is actually part of ENGin's Ukrainian cultural series, which we use to showcase experts within our wider network, academics, artists, nonprofit leaders, and more, to share knowledge about Ukraine with audiences all over the world. And I can see we truly have a global audience tuning in today, so that's awesome. Our speaker today is Tatiana Gudzenko, one of our gifted ENGin students. And today she'll be presenting about her vital work as a psychologist with clients in Ukraine and all over Europe. But before we get started, I do want to ask again that we all remain muted throughout the entire session today, just to make sure that everybody can hear properly. That said, we'd love it if you can help bring warmth and support into this virtual space. Feel free to turn your cameras on if you can, wave hello, post greetings in the chat, share questions, comments, and reactions throughout. We'll be wrapping at about 1:45 p.m. Eastern time in the United States today, so 8:45 p.m. Kiev. But if you cannot stay until the end, don't worry. We will follow up with slides and a full recording via email in the next few days. So with all of that out of the way, it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Tatiana Gudzenko. Tatiana holds a degree in pharmacology from Zaporizhzhia State Medical and Pharmaceutical University and in psychology from Dniprovsky Humanitarian University. And today she is giving her first ever professional presentation in English, during which she'll discuss her career journey as an adult and adolescent psychologist. She'll also share how she is currently helping her clients navigate emotional stress. Tatiana has also prepared some recommendations, several tools that ENGin volunteers and students can use either individually or together in their sessions to help cope with acute stress. I know that this is something that we often hear from our volunteers is, what can I do to help my student? How can I support my student during our sessions, and Tatiana will give us some great ideas on how to do that today. We invite you to participate live in those exercises too. So she'll walk us through those exercises, and then she'll also offer some additional perspective on how volunteers can best support their students in this critical moment for their country. So with all of that said, please join me in welcoming Tatiana to our virtual stage. Tatiana?
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to see all of you here, and I'm happy you found the time to attend my presentation, and I really appreciate it. This is my first meeting conducted in English. I'm student ENGin. Before I started meeting on the platform, and Katie, who helps me learn English, I was just beginner. And of course, now I'm nervous. I worry about my pronunciation. I will make mistake, but this presentation means for me so much to me. It kind of personal achievement because I'm moving forward in small steps as I have a lot other studies in my field. Because I'm actively developing is in my new professional, and it takes a lot of time. So the fact I am here is already a result for me, and I'm very grateful to Katie and Emily for supporting me. I wouldn't have dared to do it on my own. Emily talked about my education. Yes, it has been an interesting journey for me. I studied in different cities. I studied in Kharkiv, in Zaporizhia, in Dnipro. I'm continuing my studies in Lviv, and it is truly great experience for me. I meet new people. I have friends in different cities of my country. It was great for me. Emily, please, next slide. So, I'm Tatiana. I'm from Ukraine, from a small city called Poltava, which is located in the central part of Ukraine. Today, I want to tell you about life and professional journey and share some knowledge of psychology. I feel your support, and I am very grateful. I live in the city of Poltava. It's a wonderful small city in the central part of Ukraine. There are many parks, museum, and church. Also, Poltava has a river where we go in the summer to relax. Where can we take a boat or swim? Next slide. It's light about my family. My husband, Vitaly, he works as a beekeeper. It's a family business. Right now, he mainly focuses on raising new bees, new kind bees, and selling them. He also collects bee venom, which is very rarely professional in Ukraine, and I think in the world as well. Then this bee venom used in medicine, most used in creams for inflammation. My son, Roman, now lives in Lviv. He is architect and hard word, restoration specialist. He works in a team that engage in the restoration of old buildings. The office where he works is also involved in rebuilding structures destroyed during the war. Their latest project is the restoration of destroyed children's hospital in Kyiv, the famous hospital named Ohmadit. My daughter Polina is a student. She is studying to become a fitness trainer. She graduated from choreography school and plans teach Pilates and sport ballet in the future. Next slide, please. My life path from pharmacist to psychologist. In a picture, my real chemistry day, where I spent a lot of time because I work as a pharmacist a long time. About 17 years, I work as a pharmacist. I studied 6 years, became to a pharmacist, and I like my job really, but I work with people, I listen them, I communicated with them, and I realized the medicine from chemistry, it's not enough. And I decided studies as a psychologist. My path in psychotherapy has been alone. First, I studied for 2 years in a master's program, and when I received my degree in psychology, it gave me the opportunity to begin training as a psychotherapist. Now I work with adults and teenagers. People come to me with many issues. I work with anxiety, depression episode, self-esteem, and various other problems. I began my practice after finished university. I work under supervision. I have my own therapy, and I also participate in a group supervision program for working with teenagers. Next slide, please. Psychological Club Da Vinci. My first experience working with teenagers started at this club. The club's name, Da Vinci, translates as I am Da Vinci. I really like this name because it carries the meaning that every teenagers we see talent and their unique qualities that we try to highlight and develop. In this club, I work as a art therapy. We also conversation about their emotions, feelings. Also, children can take individual consultation. Next slide, please. One part on my job, working in a camp with children who have lost one of their parents in the war. I work there as a therapist. We conduct special trainings for them, children and grief. This training to help them cope with their loss. I consider this a very important part of my job because these children need psychological help and support. On the slide, we can see my team. We have a team of therapists We work together and support each other to do this job because it's a difficult job. We spent about 2 weeks in a camp. This camp, Sleepaway. The camp is located in a peaceful place in the mountains where the children can rest, recover in a quiet and calm surroundings, and receive psychological support during this time. Next slide. On this slide, on the screen, you can see one of the emotional exercises. The children wrote farewell messages on small paper boards, sometimes wishes for their father, words of gratitude they hadn't had the chance to say, or feeling they wanted to let go of. When they set the boats afloat in the mountain river, symbolically releasing their emotions and saying goodbye in their own way. And this slide shows how it is work as a psychologist at this and this time in Ukraine. It's really hard because we have never before had experience like this, and we have never before had such big grief as this, which covers the whole country. I was in camp for time on this year because after the camp I really need to recover. Next slide, please. Another part of my work, I conduct lectures and workshops for adults. On the slides, you can see one of them. It was a lecture about emotionally burned out. In the first part and second part, we made candles. These were candles made of natural wax material. One of them patented with natural D, but had a natural wonderful smell. By the way, the wax from my husband's bee farm. It absolutely natural. It was great workshop. I used a mindfulness technique. We did it slowly and paying attention for the texture, on the smell, on the details. It really helps them to relax and focus in meditation for other problems and other topic. After I got great feedback, maybe I will do it again. Next. This. For the last several months, I have been doing trainings for a Ukrainian pharmacist, and I would like to share with you one part of the training. This is 3 steps for quick calming during acute stress. Let's begin. Next slide. Before, I want to explain about stress. Stress is a natural reaction of our body. It's how we prepare to face dangers. It kicks your system into gear, boosts energy, and can help you make a quick decision. The problem is, this reaction can also appear in everyday situation, before presentation, before exam, or an unexpected problem. That's why it's important to know how to calm our body and mind quickly. So in the short term, stress can be actually helpful. It keeps you alert and ready to act. Over time, also constant stress wear you down if you don't take time to recharge. In fact, when you open any psychology book, in the section titled Coping with Stress, the very first recommendation is to remove the stressor. In Ukraine, unfortunately, we cannot remove this stressor. What is why our strategic goal is to reduce the impact of the stress on our life as much as possible. And the first step is breathing. Breathing is the simplest and very helpful tool for calming down during acute stress. When we stabilize our breathing, when we start to control our breathing, it's like we say to our parasympathetic nervous system, that's it. The danger is away, is far away. And now I'd like everyone in the group to join the exercise called box breathing. And we can use your phone or simply imagine drawing a square in your mind, or can use your screen. Let's practice. Познімай, будь ласка, це. I will use my phone. In this side, inhale for 4 countings. And we have to use your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. This side, hold for 2 countings. Inhale for this side, inhale for more slowly for 6 countings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on and repeat. It's look like our breathing has become slower, and now we are starting the next step. And the next step is a grounding. In these exercises, we need to connect with our body, become fully aware of it, and bring ourselves back to the present moment, here and now. For this, we use the following technique. Look around. You can type in interesting because it's like new things you can see. Look around and name 5 things you can see. Just things you can see: door, chair, lamp, and better if you will be doing it loudly. Yes. After, name 4 things you can hear. After, you can name 3 things you can touch. Feel the texture slowly. It is actually very interesting. When we focus on something, it appears new to us. And name 2 smell. and name one taste. This sour taste is especially effective. If you have a chance to try something sour, it can be very helpful. We refocus our mind, and now we are turning into our body. I hope you did it. In next step is a physical actions. And here I want to explain. When we feel stress, we have an excess of the hormone cortisol. To reduce the cortisol level, our body needs physical action. And when we want to drink warm tea and wrap ourselves in a warm blanket after stress, we shouldn't do this immediately because we are in the fight, flight, freeze cycle, and our body is ready to fight. Our body needs physical actions to reduce the cortisol hormone. So first, physical action, after warm tea and blanket. And now I invite everyone to do the exercises because theory is just theory. Our body, remember, practice. We started in the last check of stress. I sure all of us saw how it did a dog shaking of water. The exercise is like that. You have to shake the whole body. And when I visited yoga therapist from India, we often do it exercises with voice. It looked like, oh, it was funny, but it's very useful. Try it. Next method, Jacobson progressive muscle relaxation technique. It's very effective method in this case. You can practice this anywhere. It's not very noticeable to others, but it's very effective. When you feel that your body tense, start to do these exercises. Basically, the method is all about tensing up different muscle group really hard for like 5 or 10 seconds, and then completely letting go into a deep relaxation for about 15 to 20 seconds, focusing totally on how that feel. It looks like tense and relax and focus or pay attention for feeling. And whole body, arm, shoulder. It's really, it seems too simple, but these exercises use all psychologists, believe me. It's almost the end of my presentation. But everything we do when we experience acute stress, it's all exercises we can do. But in Ukraine, we have a terrible reality and we constantly have stress. And our main task to build resilience. Resilience doesn't mean without stress. It means how quickly we recover after stress, and that is very important. And all the exercises I talked about are means to refocus our brain so that recovery happen faster. Perhaps you all know that philosophy was the basic of psychology, and I often share the philosophy of Stoicism in my lectures or with my clients. One of my favorite exercises is a dichotomy of control. Dichotomy of control. If you have a problem, divide it into two parts and ask yourself the question, can I control this? Or can I not control this? And focus on the part you can control or change, and accept the part you cannot control and change. Now we often use this philosophy because a lot of things we cannot change or control. I know you were wondering how to support your Ukraine students. And honestly, before I thought I don't have any answer to that question, because in my opinion, you are doing enough. You are giving them the most valuable thing, your time, your kindness, patience. You are teaching them new skills that are essential right now, as many Ukrainians have spread across the world, and language is necessary for their survival. I will talk about my experience. Sometimes I won't talk about what's happening in my country, but most of the time we talk about other aspects of life. We talk about national dishes, we share our tradition, we discuss everything. And I feel support from Katie, and that's enough. Because the meeting in ENGin, it's bigger than languages, learned languages. It for me, it like my other quiet life. But now we can share knowledge of how to overcome acute stress, or perhaps we will be very helpful to someone. And we can do these exercises together in a meeting. And more often you do the more often you do the exercises, the faster your brain will be able to refocus in the moment of the stress. It's like sport. It's in the end of my presentation, and thank you for attention and for your time.
Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you. I think we're all just really amazed. Thank you so much for sharing all these tools with us. I know some of them we've probably heard before, but I think for me personally, being able to do them together as a community was really helpful. And I hope that you all kind of felt that too. We will definitely be sharing these slides and the full recording afterwards so that you can send these to your students, work on them on your own, whatever is most helpful for you. So now we have about 10 minutes left. Would love to open the floor for questions for Tatiana. I know that I have a few questions already for her. So one of them was, Tatiana, you had talked about your individual therapy, your one-on-one therapy with clients. And my understanding is that these are clients who are Ukrainian, but they're mostly in other countries throughout Europe. They're displaced from Ukraine. Could you talk a little bit about that, what your work is with those clients?
It's interesting topic because really mostly my clients from other countries. It's Ukrainian who moved during war in other country. I have clients from Romania, Czech Republic, England, Poland. They have common problem. They have also the problem which have in Ukraine. It's usually anxiety, depression, because they usually alone in abroad without support family. Usually it's a mother with children. And one moment I think it's important. Usually, often they ask me about confident, how they can be more confident in speak the foreign languages. Because it's about they can't get a job, for example, without a language. They can make environment without language. In problem, in really this problem, they scared speak in foreign language, even they know it. But I thought your job, it's not about languages. You give a confident because we speak with native speakers. Before we couldn't.
So it's more, so building confidence is a big part of the
Yes.
sessions. That's really interesting to hear. I think ENGin, we all know is not a mental health program. And yet it does seem to reap a lot of mental health benefits, both for our volunteers and for our students. So that seems to be echoed in what you're saying here, Tatiana. I did get one question from Nancy. So when we're dealing with maybe a student who, or let's just say they experienced something very traumatic very recently, maybe yesterday, or maybe it was a few hours ago before we met them. Tatiana, what would you recommend in terms of how we can talk to them in a way that will be supportive, and would is it that when the exercises that you presented are appropriate to use? Are there other methods that we can use to help and be with them in that moment?
As I understood correct. I think if these students come to meeting, they need the meetings because the people need to people. And sometimes be with it most the best advice. Be with. Бути поряд. if students want, they say about told about problem, but if they don't want, it's enough. The quiet also will be therapeutic.
Just being together, being
Just
present.
being together. Because if the students came to the meetings, they need to this meeting. Because sometimes in the family or with colleagues, we like in the same context. And we need some people who just listen in us. Because in a family, often they can't listen in because they have the same problem, the same in the same context.
So it's especially meaningful that this who is listening is not in the situation, outside of the situation. Thank you for sharing that, Tatiana. Jay, I see that your hand is up, so I'll go ahead and call on you.
Oh, sure. I think actually you may have just answered it, but as you know, ENGin has some great resources on how we as volunteers should approach the topic of the war. I've always kind of gone with the approach of I'm not a psychologist or a therapist. I'm here to listen. I'm here to support you in whatever you want to tell me. So I think you've pretty much described it, but as a psychologist and obviously as a Ukrainian living through the war, if you had like one or two best pieces of advice for volunteers, obviously who don't understand this and haven't lived through it at all, what would those be?
Advice for volunteers. Advice for volunteers.
We all different, really, and the same advice work with one person and don't work with, but I think just listening. Sometimes we want to talk about it. If you have resource, listen to us. Sometimes we even don't want to talk about it. I really describe, I think I describe feeling a lot of students who on the platform ENGin. It's our safe place, really. In its other languages, in fact, we different in other languages. And this time, at first, this time we refocus from problem, because learn new words, discuss in English, it needs to attention. And our mind, our brain is lazy. We don't do the same work. Не може. Can't do. I want to. I see Katie. They can do the same deal at the time. Just one. If we learn English, we learn English. We don't have anxiety or something like that, because our brain focusing on the languages. And it's useful. It's already useful, believe me. And I say it's you're doing enough, because it's like other life in English.
Like,
Could I just say something? Okay.
yes, Catherine.
May I? Yes. My new student is also a psychologist. My Ukrainian student. I think he was a journalist before, but his English needs improving, but he spoke about his journey. But he's also got issues, and I was just listening to how you can put this in a box. So things you can deal with and things you can't deal with. But I've got an issue with that with him, because the thing that's troubling him the most, he possibly could deal with, but I don't think he's ready to deal with it yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think, Catherine, maybe what we can do is take your question offline for Tatiana, because I know we're at time.
Yeah.
And I
Yes,
do
don't
want to
worry
be
about that. Yeah,
respectful
that's
of her
fine.
time.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but it's just an interesting one, how you yeah,
How
okay.
we frame it. Yes, I appreciate the question.
I
But
can left my address or my link for my social media.
sure,
Yeah.
yeah, Tatiana,
And,
we
That's
can
I
a good
share
one.
that.
pleasure ask the question.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
will.
can share that afterwards in our follow-up
will.
email. But thank you so much. I do want to be respectful of everybody's time today, including Tatiana's. I know it's getting to be late in the evening for her. So thank you so much for all of you for joining. Like I mentioned, we will follow up over email with the slides and recording from today's session, so you can listen in with your buddy. You can practice these exercises with your buddy. For any questions that we weren't able to get to, you can feel free to ping me. I believe my email is in the chat. And I'll be compiling some questions for Tatiana for her to answer. I guess if Tatiana would also like to provide her contact information, we can send that out afterwards too. And again, I want to say thank you so much to Tatiana for sharing her story bravely, talking in a non-native language to all of us about this very complicated topic, and also to her volunteer Katie, who I've met personally and is just a phenomenal person. Thank you both for all of the work that you're doing on behalf of ENGin. And yes, thank you everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Oh,